Dr. Niyama. Thank you for being here and talking today. So if we'll move on to Niyama's session now. So if you'd like to come and share some words of wisdom, and again, thank you for your flexibility in the timing of today's session. I really appreciate it, and we're so happy that you were here with us to join the entire session.
Shukr alhamdulillah. I am very pleased, and I was very, very happy to see the way you've arranged. Thank you to all of you, and thank you to Yasmin's idea. It was amazing. Truly, I felt we are all gathered as one Jamaat. It was an amazing experience. Thank you for giving that, and all those messages. You made me Giryan humble. Thank you for all your dua and all your encouragement. Saying those words, it means a lot.
Shukr, we're proud.
So let me start my session.
Please.
I'll do some zikr. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ali Allah madad farma. Al Wahidul Qahar. Ali Allah madad farma. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Ya Mawla, give this servant of yours, Mawla, courage, ability, help to be able to talk to friends, Mawla. Ya Mawla, you know how weak, feeble and poor I am, Mawla. Ya Mawla, mercy. Ya Mawla, your help to be able to talk to friends, Mawla. Mushkil kusha, madad farma. So today we will discuss the questions we had received in chat. We did cover most of the questions, but there were few which were remaining. So we will cover those questions today, inshallah. Before I start this Q&A session, I would like to truly offer my heartiest felicitations to each one of you on the occasion of Maulana Hazir Imam's Salgira Mubarak. This session I would like to dedicate to all the Ruhani members who are with Imam. We miss them with envy that they are united with Imam and we are still here. They have the didar of Imam in every and all the different manifestations. Today they are watching us from within Imam. As our Imam is with us, he is watching us right now. Imam being our paradise, those Ruhanis who have passed away, they are with the Imam and their Batni eyes are open so they can see us all with Imam. We are happy and rejoicing Imam's birthday. Shukr alhamdulillah. So the first question which was asked, it was about difference between zikr and Girya Uzari. We have been doing zikr since our young ages, going to Jamaat Khana and at home. Our peers have said, Eji sute bethe bhai raha chalante, naam sahib ji ko leje. O Mu'min, while sleeping or seated, moving along away, recite, remember the name of your Lord. And this verse, this Ginan verse is actually from Quran. Peer actually was giving us the knowledge of Quran. Chapter 3, verse 192. It says, the ones who remember Allah, upright and seated and on their sides. On their sides, we are always, when we are in bed, when we are sleeping, we are on our sides. So sitting upright or on their sides and meditate upon the creation of the heavens and the earth. So that's zikr. A mu'min stays in constant zikr all the time. Standing, walking, sitting, sleeping even. He does do the zikr. Now, what is Girya Uzari? Because it felt like it's the same thing, but it's not. We did discuss the word Girya Uzari means to weep intensely, to shed tears. Now let us see what Quran says about it. In chapter 17, verse 109, it says, "They fall down on their faces in tears, and it increases their humility." When they listen to this knowledge, when Mormons listen to this knowledge, when they listen to Quranic verses, Gnostic verses, true knowledge touches their heart. And what happens to them? They start shedding tears. It touches their heart and they start shedding tears. And it increases their humility. You know, Maula always says that in Baitul Khayal, sit in humility. But how? What is that posture of humility? Actually, Imam is referring to our attitude during the 23 hours. When we are humble in our being and we are listening to this knowledge, what happens when it goes through our ears? It purifies our being. It touches our soul and our heart. And that softness, that feeling actually helps when we sit in that Nurani time. It makes us feel humble that we are nothing, we are nobody. It is all due to Maula that we are able to do this bandagi, do his zikr, remember him. It's not us. Then in other words, 19/58, it says, "Those were the ones upon whom Allah bestowed favor from among the prophets of the descendants of Adam, and of those we carried with Noah, and of the descendants of Ibrahim and Israel, and of those whom we guided and chose." Guided and chose. It's talking about all the prophets and all the imaman. When the verses of the most merciful were recited to them, they fell in prostration and weeping. Meaning, in other words, Girya Uzari is the tradition of our prophets, our wali and awliya. So if we were to do Girya Uzari, we are walking on the footsteps of our prophets, imam, wali, awliya. Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman, which I had quoted last time, so I'll briefly touch upon it. At Zanzibar, September 9th, 1899, Mullah says, "It is all right if your hard-earned money is lost. Do not cry, do not feel sorrow if your child leaves this world, he dies." Then Mullah says at Zanzibar, September 17th, 1905, Mullah says, "Death for a moment is a cheerful day because it is the day of freedom from this body." So moment who leaves this world, it's the day of freedom. It's a day of Eid. We should celebrate that day. Mullah says, "Do not shed tears due to these reasons." Then question would be, when do we shed tears? Shedding tears, as we saw from the example of prophets, our imamans, is when we listen to this true knowledge, when we remember him, when we seek his didar, his mercy, his help, realizing that we are away from his didar, that is the time to shed tears. And that is what we are supposed to practice actually physically in Jamaat Khana. We do Girya Uzari Ji Tasbih morning and evening. How many of us are feeling connected at that time and shedding tears? We are supposed to shed tears because that's what we are doing, Girya Uzari Ji Tasbih. Alhamdulillah, we are learning about it, and Girya Uzari can be done in groups, it can be done individually, but if we want to be close to Maula Bapa, Girya Uzari should be our daily practice in the love of Imam. And I'm truly humbled by the beautiful messages in groups and individually. I thank each and every one of you. And I'm truly humbled to feel love of the Jamaat like that. It's just amazing. And someone in their message actually mentioned that they lost someone and they are still grieving. Yes, I agree that we do grieve. We are humans. We do feel the pain of losing our family members, our loved ones. And sometimes we can't control. Tears do flow, from our eyes. Does that mean that we are doing nafarmani of Imam? No. It is natural that we cry. We are humans, right? But a mu'min who has the true knowledge sets the intention right immediately. That Mawla, this shedding of tears is in your love. It is in envy that my father is with you and I'm still here. Mawla, he's seeing all your didar and I am not. Mawla, mercy, bless me too with your didar. You have said that it is possible during this lifetime while living. Ya Mawla, give me your didar while living. Mutu kabla anta mutu. So we start setting intention immediately because a mu'min is always conscious about his or her earnings. Tears are not easy to come. Even if one tear is coming out of worldly sorrow or worldly loss, death of a loved one, immediately we have to bank that. And I say that, bank that into our account of akhirat. Because dunya akhirat ki kheti hai. We are in this world to earn for the hereafter. So how do we keep on earning so that it would be with us when we are there at hereafter? So yes, we do shed tears. It's natural, but you set different intention of shedding their tears. You say, Mawla, I'm in your love. My family, my father is united with you, Mawla. He's part of you, Mawla. So I love you, so I'm shedding these tears in your love. That changes, that action is same of a person who has no knowledge. Action is same, there is no change in action. But just because we change the intention of it, it becomes a higher level of ibadat. It becomes the higher level of ibadat. So Giryazari is the most powerful spiritual medication. It is most powerful spiritual medication. It is the fastest way to travel to Imam's closeness. Fastest. Faster than ibadat. Faster than anything. How amazing it would be if we were to sit in bandagi, in ibadat, nurani time, and we are doing our job with Giryazari. Because we have that intense tarap in our heart, that desire in our heart, Mawla, I seek your didar. I seek your didar, Mawla. And Imam has told us in his farman that as a child who loses his mother and he cries, you should be crying like that for didar of Imam. So we are actually also expected to shed tears during Nurani time. But it comes when we are doing that during our 23 hours of our time. First, I'm going to tell you this verse from Quran. Lahum fiha ma yashaun. It says that everything is possible in paradise. Lahum fiha ma yashaun. And the references are 25 by 61, 16 by 31. Lahum fiha ma yashaun. Everything is possible in paradise. Literally, whatever we'll desire, it will be there. We would desire, Mawla Bapa, I want to see you in manifestation of Mawla Ali. The didar will be there. Ya Mawla, I want to see today Imam Allah Zikr Salam. The didar will be there. Because in paradise, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible in paradise. Anything we desire, it will be there. But there will be no Giryazari. There will be no tears. You know why? Because anything and everything we want, it will be there. Giryazari is such an amazing blessing given to us in our human form for this world, to use it to get closeness to Imam. So Giryazari is a very special practice. It's a very special way of doing ibadat. Very necessary. If I were to say that I want to go visit Zenith, I can go walking, I can take a car, I can go by bus, I can catch a plane. How about going in a rocket? Do we all want to go in a rocket to Imam? The speed of light. If any one of us want to travel with the speed of light to get to Imam, the only way to do that is through Girya Uzari. Girya Uzari is such powerful ibadat. Powerful. Ibadat done with Girya Uzari. Any zikr, any remembrance, when it is done with dry eyes, it does not connect. Now, when I say dry eyes, it does not mean that physically we are shedding tears. It's some moments have the tears in their heart. They cry inside. They may not be able to cry physically. And that's absolutely fine. But they are connected to the core of their being. When we are in paradise, when we are in Imam, Imam has the miracle of kun fayakun. Anything, everything we want, it will be like snap of finger, it will be there. Kun fayakun. That power, imagine having that power, being with Imam and having these miracles of Imam. It is possible during the lifetime for a moment who does Girya Uzari and goes through death while living. Mutu kabla antamutu. Hope this is enough to help out, differentiate between zikr and Girya Uzari. Now, second question was very interesting question. It was not related to topic. Someone asked, can you explain the first farman of Sultan Muhammad Shah? And it's a long farman, beautiful farman. Imam made this farman when he was only 8 years old. And the scene, if I were to tell you, their long beards, very with pagadi, because that was the time at that time. Everybody had this long beard, all the amaldarans, because the Imam before Sultan Muhammad Shah, Akali Shah, they all had long beard. And now they all are there and they're thinking of this Imam who is only 8 years old. And it's being written in the books that Imam actually, when he comes, he's playing with the ball. Thak, 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 like. And someone says, oh, do not be crying so harshly with such a loud voice, because they were missing their Imam, Akali Shah. And they said, don't be crying so loud. Imam, apro nano Imam dhurji jase. Imam will get scared. And Imam here comes playing with the ball, and he sits on the takhat and he delivers this long farman full of secrets and miracles. So I would encourage each one of us to read that farman, because that farman has so much knowledge in it. And that farman, when we read, it will ignite fire of love in our heart. Imagine only 8-year-old boy. How can he make this kind of farman? Truly the Noor was speaking. And Imam says, and I'm just taking one paragraph to explain. Imam says, this is the last period. And whosoever has true faith in Imam will see the miracles and impressive events in his time. This is the last period, and whosoever has true faith in Imam will see the miracles and impressive events in his time by the Imam-e-Zaman. And those who have half-hearted faith, they will also witness the miracle, but they will not believe him. Whosoever has not believed the miracles and events of Nabis and Imams are like blind individual who cannot see. If you give blind man a mirror or a flat piece of stone, for him both are same. People with half-hearted faith think we are common like them. We are common men like them. In material world, we do present like a dervish, but my status is very high in the batin. I am the descendant of Prophet Muhammad. The dignity and importance of our house is only understood by the wise and knowledgeable. By the wise and the knowledgeable. The people with half-hearted faith will not trust us at all. And then he says, why will I love such people? Now this farman is being delivered to Jamaat. And he says in the Jamaat, he's talking about in the Jamaat, that there are people who are half-hearted, who have half-heart and they don't believe in miracles of Imam. And then Imam says, why will I love such people? So we need to pause and think. We take it for granted when Maula says, my beloved spiritual children. Yes, we are his beloved spiritual children. But there are conditions and there are criteria for us to meet to be his beloved spiritual children. When we don't meet those criteria, Imam says, why will I love such people? Imam doesn't love us. But this is Imam's farman. That's a harsh fact. So the responsibility we have as the slaves and servants of Imam, followers of Imam, we got to be following that. And Imam says then, they hurt themselves. Nothing will happen to me. So this is actually about those who are blind, meaning that they see the miracles, but they don't have trust. And that's why they have a hard time to believe in the miracles of Imam. So what was Imam's miracle, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah? Let's take material miracle. At that time, all those who were converted from Hindu to Ismaili, they were called Khojas. Pir Sadruddin made Khojas. And for Khojas at that time, there was a saying, Khoja uthao boja, all labors. Khojas were all labors.